This is Karis Alexander with Deep Truth Media. Awareness deconstructing consciousness. If you take the word consciousness as I've done and break it down into its individualized components, that is con, shus, and ness, and look it up in the dictionary, you'll find what I found, that consciousness means the quality and state of tricking and deceiving someone through knowledge. And so that's what we're doing here. We're deconstructing consciousness. The title of this video is Awareness Deconstructing Consciousness, Virgo, the Cosmic Rift, and Freemasonry. World Trade Towers equals DNA. The All-Seeing Eye equals Aldebaran, star, brackets, equals Rothschilds, equals Taurus constellation, which equals the bull on Wall Street. This is my second attempt at this video. I put in the description in my first video, Aldebaran. I did not spell it, realize that it was misspelled on YouTube, and the word came up, Aldebaran, bracket, star. I chose it from the list of words. Their system went haywire as I was uploading this 38-minute video, saying then the system said the video was too long. Well, I've been uploading long videos for a few years now. The system wants me to verify I'm not a robot and provide a phone number, which I refuse to do, so I will now start doing 15-minute videos, so this video will be in 2 or 3 installments. YouTube, Facebook, your cell phone are surveillance tools. They are tools to monitor what? Your consciousness and the collective consciousness. They are not entertainment tools, as most people would like to think. They are tools to monitor behavior and get you to modify your behavior if it's not in line with what they are wanting. It's okay if you spread disinformation, but when you start sharing real truth, that is a no-no. So let's see what happens with Aldebaran, bracket, star. I'm going to do a few things to test their computer intelligence, and let's see how the trolls react and respond. I will not post any pictures in this video. You'll have to check the pictures in the blog post in the description. We must remember that there are always countless interpretations from countless angles on countless levels, all depending on what context you apply in your analysis. The eternal awareness that is you exists beyond any concept of energy, yet your essence has been captured in the sea of dynamic energy in which you have your physical experience. It is this energetic system of consciousness that causes you to what? Forget who you really are. It is this epic fall into this low frequency energy of fear that causes all the distortions. It is the splitting of awareness from its state of nothingness into 2 dynamic forces that forever keep you a prisoner in this womb matrix, forever seeking to return to your original state of nothingness, which is the ultimate reality. However, in this system of consciousness, reality is always first a collective reality. That is, we are born into a culture that is already existing. In essence, we are born into a collective reality that is very much in progress, and essentially generations and generations of experience of people in our culture pass on to each of us our culture. The universal architects, the designers of the system of consciousness, did the unthinkable. They took awareness from its natural state of nothingness and created this system of consciousness which was made up of all your intellectual systems, such as science, all religions, including the New Age movement, astronomy, astrology, and all the language systems and institutional structures and systems. That's right, out of the awareness of your natural state of nothingness, in order to create a virtual reality matrix upon which you experience your sensory experience, believing it is the real deal forever, seducing you to forget your eternal awareness state of nothingness. Yes, in order to perpetuate, the universal architects of this creator God's dream had to create a system in which you were captured. That is your essence. The power control force, along with their Freemason puppets, are very familiar with astrology, astronomy, and astrotheology. They created those systems. They, in fact, align all important commemorations, dedications, declarations, groundbreakings, grand openings, and other events to coincide with astrological phenomena. In essence, as astrology is their religion of choice. And this is why, as we deconstruct consciousness, it is important for us to position ourselves to better play the game that they are perpetrating on us using the power control forces tool of choice, astrology, as we can deconstruct consciousness as awareness, which is the ultimate reality. In keeping with history, the spiritual and metaphysical consecration of astrology was conceived and implemented using ancient wisdom traditions passed to those founding fathers who were what? Freemasons. These Masonic brothers were the architects of everything from their vision of the world as fundamentally spiritual and the charter documents they authorized invoking God, freedom, and equality to the very streets and monuments of the nation's capital, including all supporting governmental installations. Now, it is important to know that the U.S. of A. was born on July 4, 1776 under the stars of the Gemini twins, a sign occultly conferring brotherhood. The building of the U.S. was intentionally aligned to certain fixed stars, including most notably those of the constellation Virgo. And if you're wondering why, the stars of Virgo embody and envelop our individual and collective consciousness, supporting our evolutionary ascension, whether we realize it or not. These cosmic energies of the great goddess in all her forms, from Isis to Demeter to the goddess of all health, Hygeia, Ishtar, Iana, the Virgin Mary, Mother of Christ, Mary Magdalene, and Gaia, the abundant agrarian earth mother herself. She is maiden and high priestess. She is wise woman, healer, and virtuous mother. She is the womb matrix herself, personified and glorified. The Statue of Liberty, residing in New York City, lifting her lamp, receives a transfusion of Virgo power, as do all the symbols and power places in the USA that are aligned with and dedicated to the stars of the constellation Virgo. And all that the great lady and mother of all represent, she is Isis, Ishtar, Eve, the Virgin Mother, Mary Magdalene, and the great goddess. She is mounted upon the Star of David. They are all the same deity, representing one energy, the divine feminine force. The different names to describe the same transfiguration is what causes so much distortion and confusion. Now, it is important to note that the Virgo constellation emits what? Waves of radio frequency sounds from M87. Virgo A, a monstrous galaxy relatively close to the Earth, at the heart of the Virgo supercluster of galaxies. It is also important to note that the Virgo supercluster contains the Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda galaxy. It is also to keep in mind that the blue, white, young, hot, first magnitude eclipsing binary star Alpha Virginis Spica is one of several alpha stars that lies very close to the center of the ecliptic plane in the Virgo constellation within the belt of the zodiac, which keeps the zodiac constellation anchored and aligned in the celestial poles of the earth. The pulsations of energy reaching us from Virgo are like the heartbeat of the divine cosmic mother, aligning our material body's vital signs to those of the earth mother. What does this say about our Milky Way galaxy? Well, constellation Virgo contains a zone where intensity rivals that of the conjunction of Sagittarius, Scorpius, and Ophiuchus, wherein lies the Milky Way galaxy center. According to scientific research, our collective and planetary psychic input from and throughout the galactic center is maximized at sidereal time 1330. As this meridian passes over you at whatever location you are at the particular time, theoretically, your ability to communicate using galactic psychic frequency, such as remote viewing, telementation, higher senses, are all theoretically enhanced. For more information on this research, I've put 2 links that you can look into in the description of this blog post. Look online for a sidereal time clock and check out the time for your specific location and tune in to the energies at your leisure. You may be noticing a heightened awareness of these energies at this particular time. Why? Because according to sidereal astrology, or the sun is in the sign of Virgo, not in the sign of Libra, as the tropical zodiac will tell you. The reason I use sidereal time or the sidereal astrology is because we see where the planets are in the solar system in real time. If we go according to tropical zodiac, that is, we do not get a clear picture of where the planets are at this particular time. This is the manipulation. Well, you may be asking yourself, why do astrologers use tropical astrology if it doesn't represent where the planets are in the sky at this particular time? Because tropical astrology still works. I don't believe that a lot of the astrologers realize how deep the rabbit hole goes in terms of the manipulation of what happens here on the physical plane. They are just simply not aware that sidereal astrology tells us, in fact, where we are in terms of the planetary bodies in real time. So I use sidereal astrology, and I also use tropical astrology when I do consultations as well. It still works, but it doesn't give you the real picture. But then you can see, when you look at the sidereal astrology and the tropical astrology, how again the power control force manipulate our reality. They have us in a future timeline. They, I believe, go by the Ethiopian time clock. The Ethiopian time clock, New Year, is September 11th. That should be a giveaway right there in the bombings of the World Trade Centers, which I'll talk about in my next audio. But the power control force go by the Ethiopian time clock, and I believe that we are in the year 2007, according to that time clock, and they have us believing that we are in the year 2014. Why would they do that? Because that's how they manipulate the future. That's how they manipulate our reality. When one grows in the truth and knowing that the very essence of who they are, one must realize that one has within itself all that it requires. One may accept from others suggestions, advice, bits of knowledge as it goes along, but each of us can be the only judge of what it requires at each stage. In the end, each of us must do our own work in order to stand on our own feet as sovereign beings. All the teachings in the world will not help you unless you take matters into your own hands. Whoever controls your mind controls your creations. I thank you so much for tuning in. You can check out the blog post in the description.